now we're going into the third inning of this game. It's true of baseball. You can never tell what will ever happen in any ball game, and particularly true of these all-star classics. The first batter up is Stanley Hack, and this time takes a pitch that's in there for a called strike. Hack starting the second go-round for the National Leaguers. He hit the first pitch ball game for a single. Leonard comes back, and Hack takes inside for ball one. Johnny Vandermeer now begins throwing a solo working figure in the National League bullpen. Vandermeer, the double no-hit kid of the Cincinnati Reds. Apparently he'll be the second pitcher for the National League. Hack swinging, hits a fly ball out toward the left field corner. Wakefield goes over, and he grabs it just a step in fair ground. Tom Dunn, who is the umpire at third, goes out and waves into fair ground that the catch is registered as a fair ball. For those of you who like to know those technical details, it was caught right along the left field line. A put out for Dick Wakefield of the Detroit Tigers. And now stepping in is Billy Herman, who is 1 for 1. Singled Hack around to third base in the first inning. Right-hand batter. Bill swings and hits the ball along the right field line, foul by a yard. A low line drive that sliced wide. Vandermeer turned around and scooped up the ball down in that right field corner in the bullpen where he's working and tossed it out. So let's set the American League team for you. It's the same team that began. We've had no changes in playing personnel so far this evening. It is Leonard and Early of Washington as the battery. Here's Billy Herman up and taking a pitch outside and high for ball one. The infield is Shibe of the A's, Dorr of the Red Sox, Stevens of the Browns, and Keltner of the Indians. The outfield is Wakefield of the Tigers, Labs of the Browns in center, and in right field, Case of Washington. Here's Leonard, big right-hander, delivering. There's a knuckler that dances over, just like a butterfly with an extra set of wings. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Early down, giving the sign. He's been catching Leonard ever since Rick Farrell left the club. There's a pitch low inside to Billy Herman. Down across the shins for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 man out, nobody on, top of the third inning. Mike Gonzalez, coaching back at first of the Cardinals, cups his hands, hollers something to Herman. Leonard pitches, Herman swinging, hits a fly ball along the right field line into the corner. It's foul, Case goes over, and he's a couple of steps short of getting to it. The ball drops untouched, hits the low railed fence in front of the spectators, and kicked back out. The count staying 2-2. American League ahead, 3-1. Leonard delivers. Herman swinging, hits a high pop fly down by third. There's Keltner under it, waiting, and he squeezes it for the out, and it is 2 up and 2 down. And after Leonard gave up singles to the first 2 batters, he's had the situation well under control. 2 up, 2 down, top of the third. And here's Stan Musial, whose long fly ball in the first inning got in Hack from third base after the catch. Musial, a sophomore, great hitter, left-hand batter, takes a pitch low, ball 1. Musial is playing left field tonight, and he has been playing right field regularly since the season was well underway for his ball club, the Cardinals. Swings and hits a bounding ball down by second base. There's Dorr up. The underhand snap throw is in time by a step and a half to Shibe at first base, and it is nothing across for the National League. In the top of the third, the last out was affected, second to first. The score is 3-1 American Leaguers, and that ends the first half of the third inning. If you're one of those men who finds shaving a tough, disagreeable chore, why not go about it the quick, pleasant way for a change? Prepare your beard with Gillette shaving cream, lather or brushless, and ease it off smooth as velvet with a Gillette Blue Blade. Now that's shaving the all Gillette way. The slickest, most refreshing way by far. Gillette shaving cream is an exceptionally fast-acting beard softener because it holds abundant moisture and keeps every whisker saturated all the while you're shaving. What's more, it's rich and probiotic so that it sets your stubble up and lubricates the blade. See if I'm not giving you the real lowdown on utmost shaving ease and speed. Ask your dealer for Gillette shaving cream. First up for the American League, last of the third inning, is Ken Kelton of the Indians, right-hand batter. Swings and hits a fly ball out toward right center. It is going through, and there's Harry Walker stumbling for the moment. Kelton goes on for second and makes it standing. It is a two-bagger for Kelton on the first pitch ball after the third. Kelton, who was struck out in the first inning, the sole strikeout victim so far, comes back with a double into center field, slightly on the right field side of the center fielder. This is hit number 3 of Mort Cooper of the Cardinals. The first hit was a home run by Bobby Doyle last inning following 2 walks. Here now is Dick Wakefield. Has more hits than any other major leaguer this year, and this is his first year in the majors. Takes a pitch high up inside. He straightens away from it for ball 1. You remember Teddy Williams? Well, he reminds you a great deal. Both as the way he's built, tall, powerful, raw-boned fella, pulls that stick well back, and steps up there and strides, and then takes a pitch to his low inside for ball 2, and Cooper's behind 2-0. For a first-year man, Wakefield led all of them to the barrier among batters of being the first to break that 100 hits so far this year. He has 102 all told. At second base is Keltner. There's a pitch over for a strike at the outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wakefield takes a look, see if the initiative is returned to him, but hitting a taking. Hack is a step wide at third base, the outfield deep, a couple steps toward right. There's a bounding ball hit through between short and third for a base hit. Keltner's around third base and is going in, and Musial falls down, then finally throws to second, not in time, and Wakefield winds up at second base. Keltner scores easily. Musial lost his footing as he came in to field the ball, and in that delay of coming up with the ball and starting his throw, this long-legged Wakefield just kept right on going like somebody had news from home for him at second base, and there he came in there on a hands head first slide on his chest. Keltner scores standing up, and it is 4-1, favor of the American League. We'll have to check with the official scorer and see how to score Wakefield, whether it's a single and an error in left, or whether it is a double all the way. And now here is Vern Stevens, who lays down a bunt down toward third base, and it is foul. It was in the air. Hack came down and tried to make the catch, but couldn't, and trapped it. As soon as we receive word from the official scorer as to how that is technically scored, well, we'll let you know. However, actually, the gentleman in question is right there at second base. Whole front of his white uniform now is smeared after that chest slide. It's all right with him. Stevens set, bunts down toward first base. It is fair. On to third, moves the runner. The throw goes to first in time. Fletcher, the first baseman, backing up and taking Mort Cooper's throw. It's a sacrifice. That's the first sacrifice of the game. Stevens is out. 1-3 for scoring. The pitcher to the first baseman. And down to third base moves Keltner. And we've just received word that Wakefield is to be scored a double to left field. Gives him a hit and a run batted in, and Keltner, of course, scores on the double. And now manager Southworth of the Cardinals is out there talking to Cooper. Vandermeer is working down in the National League bullpen. He's ready if Southworth wants him, and Vandermeer is to be brought in. Southworth nods to Jocko Conlon, the first base umpire, and he goes trotting down into the right field bullpen. And Johnny Vandermeer, the only Major League pitcher to pitch 2 successive no-hit games, now comes trudging in from the bullpen. It's a long walk from the bullpen, and of course, the longest walk in baseball is the one that Mort Cooper is now beginning from the mound into his dugout and on the way to the showers. The score is now 4-1 in favor of the American League, with 1 man out last of the third inning, and a runner on at third base. Dick Wakefield. Shibe of the Athletics, the left-hand hitting first baseman, standing around in batter's box. We'll wait and see if Joe McCarthy, who is the skipper for the American League Stars, wishes to make any change with the left-hander being brought in, Johnny Vandermeer. Vandermeer, who, as they say, is one of the quickest pitchers in the business. He can really throw that pelota. Vandermeer and Mort Cooper having a little conference there in front of the mound, checking on their signs. That's one thing that I think a lot of people seem to miss on occasion. is the great necessity for a real clubhouse meeting before these all-star games, because here you have fellows from 8 different clubs in each clubhouse, and so of course an entire set of signs have to be worked out. Signs from coaches, hit-run signs, take signs, hit signs, bunt signs, field signs, and of course an entire new set of signs has to be worked out between the catchers and the pitchers. And now Joe McCarthy changes, and Shibe comes out, and Rudy York of the Detroit Tigers stepping in. Big, strong, redoubtable right-handed batter who put the lid on it and accounted for the winning 2 runs with his first inning homer with Henrik on after a double in the very first inning at the Polo Grounds last year. York, a right-hand batter, coming on. He'll hit for Shibe and will probably remain and play first base. Here in the last of the third. So Shibe hit a line drive which is caught in center field, swinging on the first pitch ball in the second, fielded first base flawlessly, and he is out. And Mort Cooper, after 2 1/3 innings, is now in the clubhouse, and Johnny Vandermeer is on the mound. Vandermeer of the Cincinnati Reds. Johnny takes a sign. Rudy York standing to one side. Vandy goes to the rosin bag and steps in again. Stepping down off third with 1 man out, taking his lead in foul ground is Dick Wakefield. Vandermeer kicks, delivers, and York takes safe fastball in there for a call strike. Vandermeer wearing number 33. The National Leaguers are wearing their road uniforms. The American League, this is the American League home game, are wearing, of course, their home whites. Vandy kicks, throws, and York swings and misses. And he swung all the way from Terry Holt. 0-2. The infield, of course, is up, hoping for a play on a ground ball at the plate. Wakefield taking his lead. Vandermeer checks him for the moment. Now the left-hander delivers. Fastball, strike 3, swinging. And Vandermeer on 3 pitches strikes out Rudy York. And it seems that the all-star fates do not smile on York as a pinch hitter. As a regular, that's one thing. At Cincinnati, if you'll recall, in the all-star game, 38, York as a pinch hitter faced Mace Brown with the bases loaded and was struck out on a 3-2 pitch. Now stepping in is Chet Labs of the St. Louis Browns. Strong right-hand batter who was walked in the second inning. Infield is back, the outfield deep, around toward left, 2 men down. Labs takes a high outside pitch. Ball 1. Vandermeer certainly didn't waste any time. He threw 3 of them right down in there. York took the first and then went after the next 2. John takes a sign from Walker Cooper. It's rather hard for Vandermeer to be replacing Mort Cooper, because those 2 have had some great pitching duels against each other. And Labs gets tired of waiting, steps out of the box. Plate umpire Ed Rommel automatically calls time. Now Chet steps in, spreads those feet. Open twist, right-hand batter. Takes a pitch outside for ball 2. The score is 4-1 in favor of the American League. National League scored first, and Bobby Dorr accounted for 3 of them with a home run. That's the first American League hit in the second inning, following 2 straight walks. Vandy comes down, Lab swings and misses at a curve, and it is 2-1. 2 men out. Vandermeer never in any hurry, especially when he has a runner in the spot like Wakefield is, leading off third. Delivers over for ball strike 2. He broke another number 2 in there, another hook, and it's 2-2. Lab sets. When he gets a hold of that ball, he can really give it a ride. Vandy, back of the mound, going for the rosin bag. Wakefield of Detroit leading down off third. 2 down for the American League, last of the third inning. Vandermeer delivers. Lab swings and misses for strike 3, and Vandermeer comes on, puts out the fire, striking out pinch hitter York, and then center fielder Chet Lab. So it is 1 run on 2 hits, pair of doubles, opening up the last of the third inning, and following a bunt, Mort Cooper was taken out. Vandermeer came on and struck out the next 2 batters. 1 run, 2 hits for the American League, last of the second, last of the third, 1 man left on, no National League errors. Here are the 3-inning totals. For the American Leaguers, 4 runs on 4 hits. They're all earned. They're all scored against Mort Cooper. And for the National League, the American League is 1 error. For the National League, 1 run on 2 hits and no errors. And now, coming on to pitch is Hal Newhouser, left-hander of the Detroit Tigers. Friends, among the many reasons for the superiority of the Gillette Blue Blade is this. It is ground in a continuous stream of filtered oil. This is an exclusive process and a costly one, but you get quicker, easier shaves because of it. There's the announcement as to the appearance of Newhouser.
Number 16, Newhouser. Number 4, Rudy York.
The announcement is made that Rudy York will remain in the game playing at first, and some of the fans sort of kidded him a little bit about walking up there and having Vandy strike him out. Hal Newhouser getting ready to bend to his task, and first up for the National League is Nicholson. Southworth is not bringing his left-hand batter back. Nicholson takes a fastball low for ball 1. Newhouser can really fire that rock, as the boys say. Has the most impressive total of strikeouts this year. With Detroit so far, Hal has won 7 and lost 6. It's 9 complete games out of 12 starts. Nicholson takes a fastball just above the knees. Left-hand hitter, left-hand pitcher. The count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. The last pitch to strike. Newhouser comes down. Nicholson swings. There's a long fly which is going to left center. And Wakefield is over. Labs is under, and it is Chet Labs for the catch. Both Wakefield and Labs signal they'll take it. But one of the fundamental rules in baseball is that the center fielder catches everything he can get his hands on. In other words, if there's a doubt in authority between 2 of them, it's up to the center fielder to go ahead and make the catch, and they haven't worked out. So Nicholson flies out. Center fielder Chet Labs of the Browns, and L.B. Fletcher of Pittsburgh up and takes a pitch low outside a curveball. Fletcher, left-hand hitter. Manager Southworth is not pulling back these 2 left-hand batters to open up the 4th inning against left-hander Newhouser. The throw, an overhand fastball over for a called strike. Newhouser doesn't waste any time. Works high inside curve for ball 2. 2-1. Second pitcher for the American League. Leonard went the first 3 innings. Fine performance. Fletcher swinging, hits a foul back. Early, rips off his mask, turns around to take a look, and then realizes that he can't get it. So the American League has made a change. York hit for Shibe at first base and remains into play at first. Newhouser comes on to pitch here at the beginning of the 4th inning. The National League has made 1 change. Vandermeer replacing Cooper and straightening matters out, striking out pinch hitter York and Chester Labs in the last of the 3rd inning. 4-1, favor the American League. 1 man out, nobody on for the National Leaguers. Top of the 4th. Newhouser works, and there is a fly ball hit by Fletcher into left field. Wakefield of Detroit waiting. He has it. And it is 2 up and 2 down, 2 high flies. And catcher Walker Cooper stepping up toward the plate. Right-hand batter. Of course, he'd like to do something about, should we say, the coals of ignominy that the American League, notably Mr. Dorr, heaped upon his brother's head. Those 2 brothers are pretty clannish. Newhouser pumps, comes down, overhand a curve, which is swung on, bounced back through the middle and into center field for a base hit. And this is the first hit for the National League since their first out was registered. Hack and Herman began the ball game with successive singles. Then came a fly ball for an out. The first run came on, and Leonard allowed no further foolishment. And now with 2 down, Newhouser taking over the ballistic burden. Allows a single through the middle for catcher Cooper. That's the 3rd National League hit. 7th hit of the evening. And there's going to be a pinch hitter for Harry Walker of the Cardinals. Just a moment, coming out of the National League dugout, moving up toward the plate is Vince DiMaggio of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Great ball hawk, and a dangerous batter inasmuch as when he gets a hold of it, he's going to ride it into the next precinct. There's the announcement. Vince DiMaggio stepping in, one of the magic names of baseball, and he is the only one of the remaining three outfielding brothers who is still in baseball this year. Two men down. Vince up, swings and hits a drive over third into left field for a pinch hit single. Holding up at second base is catcher Cooper. Wakefield takes on one big bounce, throws into third, and shortstop Stevens goes out and cuts it off. DiMaggio hitting for Harry Walker, and he may remain uninsteady. We'll have to wait a half an inning to check that. Promptly unloads a single into center field. So the DiMaggios are still hitting. With two men down, singles by Walker, Cooper, and Vince DiMaggio. And now Sletzmeyer, the shortstop, up, swings and misses the first pitch, curveball, and it is strike one. Now Early goes out to the mound to talk to his new batter, mate Newhouser. Maybe there was a sign missed that time. That the catcher doesn't know what the pitch is going to throw. Said catcher's in for a very battering experience. Because these major leaguers can really make that ball sit up and say uncle. Break it this way and break it that. Now the National League has a threat. Top of the fourth inning, runners at first and second, two men out. So that's Marion up, the American League leading 4-1. Marion swings, hits a bounding ball to third. Keltner up, the place to second base for the force, and the third out. Keltner to door, the third baseman to the second baseman. The force was on Vince DiMaggio, the runner coming down from first. And it is no runs, two hits. The threat was quickly over. American League coming in and leading by +3, 4-1. You men who are former engineers, mates, able seamen, cooks, bakers in the merchant marine, and are not now working at your highest skill, your country calls. 5 new ships slide down the ways every day, and experienced men are desperately needed to man them. In the next 3 months, the United States Merchant Marine will be called upon to perform the biggest transportation job in history and over the longest sea lanes. The fate and lives of our men at the front depend on our delivering guns, planes, tanks, ammunition, food, and other supplies to them. Ships of the United States Merchant Marine are the best in the world. Food is tops, fresh meat and vegetables, all you want. The stick-to-the-ribs kind that hits the spot. And talk about the pay? Well, listen to this. $400 to $800 a month for engineers. $230 to $300 for able seamen. $225 to $315 for cooks. And what's more, all men get $5,000 war risk insurance free. Now, if you are a former engineer, mate, able seaman, cook, or baker in the Merchant Marine, send a telegram collect to Merchant Marine, Washington, D.C. Merchant Marine, Washington, D.C. A telegram collect, giving your name, address, rating, and date you'll be available. The announcement over the public address was that Vince DiMaggio, who pinch hit for center fielder Harry Walker, would remain in the game playing at center field. Vandermeer is ready to pitch to Early, left-hand hitting catcher of Washington, first up, last of the fourth inning. Early takes a curve low outside, ball one. The outfield is a step toward right side of the infield is back. Marion, who plays, as a rule, a step shallower short than most of the short fielders, that same depth. There's a foul back. Early cutting after another hook, and it is 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 up. First man up, last of the fourth inning. Score 4-1. Favor the American League. Johnny Vandermeer looks studiously at the sign hung out by catcher Walker Cooper, then doesn't quite get it. Asks for it again. Early gets tired of waiting, backs out a step. Now he steps in, grabs that club down by the end. He cowtails it. Vandy pumps, pitches 1-1. Fastball inside at the knees and backs Early up a half step. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Stanley Hacks moves down a little rough spot wide of third base. Vandy pumps once, pumps twice. Blonde left-hander throws. Fastball over for a called strike. Early apparently looking for one to come in there too close. Backed up. The pitch came right over. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. First man up, last the fourth. Vandermeer came on auspiciously last inning. Struck out 2 hitters and held Wakefield at third base. Delivers. right over. Ball strike 3 and early. Look to the third one, and Vandermeer's pitched to 3 batters and struck out 3, which is Paul. And here is Bobby Dorr. There's a big hand that is starting through the stands as they see him stepping in the batter's box. He hit the big blow, blasted a home run into the lower left field stands following 2 walks given up by Mort Cooper in the second inning, and came up with the first hit for the American League in their first 3 runs. A right-hand batter. Swings and misses. One after a fastball. Very much of an open stance. He has his rear foot, his right foot, just as close to the catcher. Give you that picture of how he crowds that plate from behind. His forward foot is pointed right down to third base. Cocks that war club. Takes high outside. Fastball. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Vandermeer goes back of the mound to the rosin bag. The Gillette Safety Razor Company, delighted and honored to be bringing you this great sports classic. There's another in its cavalcade of sports. Here's Vandermeer now, bending to his task. Kicks high, throws. Dorr starts to swing, checks himself on a low inside curve. That goes for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. The umpires are Eddie Rommel of the American League, working balls and strikes back of the plate. And for 16 years, he was on the other end of that ball and strike business for the Athletics, right in his paw. Conlon of the National League is at first. Former American League outfielder. Rue of the American League is at second, and at third is Tom Dunn of the National League. Vandermeer delivers, Dorr takes, and it is a called strike, and Vandermeer can't seem to get out of the rut that he's in. Nothing but strikeouts. 4 batters, and just a moment. So that is strike 2 to Dorr. 2 and 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dorr sets. And John ready to go, 2 and 2. 1 man out. Nobody on, last of the 4th. Vandy pitching to so far the hero of the All-Star game, Bobby Dorr. A pitch is outside. Dorr started a swing and checked himself. Now it's a full count of 3-2, and that last ball was coming down there with something on it. 3 and 2. Bobby grips that club. Took that bat about 1.5 inches. Raised it high now above his right ear. Swings and hits a line drive through the hole between third and short into left field for a single. Musial picks up the ball, drills it throw into second, and shortstop Marion cuts it off. And Dorr now has been up twice and has 2 hits for a total of 5 bases. A round tripper, 2 on in the second inning, and this single to left field with 1 out. And so Vandermeer finally has his rut broken. Dorr singles. And let's see, Dorr now has the honor of getting the first hit of both of the 2 National League pitchers. Mort Cooper gave up no safeties till Dorr hit the home run. Vandermeer struck out 3, and then Dorr, his 4th batter, single to left field. And here is pitcher Newhouser, left-hand hitter. In a crouch, deep back in the box, set to bunt, and then takes a pitch that is over for a called strike. Stanley Hack is playing up inside third. It's a situation where the heavy percentage favors an attempted sacrifice. Fletcher holding first base, ready to run in toward the plate. Vandy checks the runner. Hack goes running halfway into the plate. The pitch is a bunt. Back to the mound. Vandy up with it. The throw is to second base in time for the force to throw to first. A double play. An attempted sacrifice. The bunt was back to the mound, and Vandermeer was up with the ball, drilled its throw back to shortstop Marion, who in turn threw on to first base to Fletcher, who got back, and it was a quick double play, and no runs, 1 hit, but nobody left. The American League last of the 4th inning, and at the end of 4 innings, it is 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the American League, 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors for the National League. Newhouser warming up for the beginning of the 5th inning, and on our broadcast with the best wishes of the Gillette Safety Razor Company, makers of Gillette Blue Blades, we pause now for station identification.
WBBM Air Theater, Wrigley Building, Chicago.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
WBBM, Chicago.
we're back at Shibe Park, and a moment ago I said the National League had 1 run, 3 hits. Make that 4 hits. 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. So the totals 4-5-1. The Americans 1-4-0 for the Nationals. And a big hand is given Johnny Vandermeer as he steps in for the role of the first hitter in the 5th inning. Johnny, a right-hand batter, used to be a switch hitter. Newhouser delivers and Vandermeer takes low. Out in front of the shoe toes for ball 1. Newhouser, second American League pitcher. Hal pumps, delivers inside for ball 2. Newhouser pitching and Early of Washington catching. First base is York of Detroit. Second, Dorr of Boston. Bandy takes a call, strike, and the count goes to 2-1. Shortstop is Vern Stevens of the Browns, and the third, Ken Kelton of the Indians. Wakefield of Detroit is in left. In center field is Chet Labs of the Browns, and in right field, Case of Washington. Vandermeer takes inside. That's a high inside tight one. You might say that that almost was the Gillette Blue Blade up under the chin there for a close shave. The throw is over for a strike, and it's a full count of 3-2. First man up in the 5th inning. Newhouser works and Vandy takes call, strike 3. And Johnny turns and walks away. And so the Lightning hit backwards. Vandermeer, who struck out the first 3 men that he pitched to in his relief role for the National League, thus becomes the first strikeout victim by an American League pitcher. So it is 1 up, 1 gone, top of the 5th. And we're back to the top of the order. Lead off for Stanley Hack, the third baseman of the Chicago Cubs. Hack takes a fastball low outside, ball 1. The throw is low, ball 2. Been 2 double plays so far in the ball game, both by the National League. That last double play was a beauty. The pitcher back to the shortstop covering, and on that bunt play, with the first baseman going in, the second base was naturally over to take the bag. So that was Vandermeer to Marion to Herman. Newhouser behind 2-0 delivers high inside, up on the letters for ball 3. Hack moving around in the box, trying to disconcert the young Detroit left-hander in his aim. 3-0. The pitch is a call strike. Laid right through. Hack has his orders about hitting and taking. Newhouser pitches 3-1. Call strike 2. On each of these pitches, Hack has done that almost automatic action on the part of the batters. He started toward first base, and of course the umpire's call has recalled him, and some of the spectators, of course, rise to the occasion, giving them an opportunity to let off a little steam. 3-2 pitch is swung on, bounced down to third. Keltner up with it. The long throw diagonally across, in time by a half step. And Hack is out. Keltner throwing over first baseman Rudy York. Conlon in calling that out. You very rarely see it happen, but he calls him left-handed, as he is left-handed, which means that when he goes back at the plate to work balls and strikes, in baseball, your right hand always signals a strike, whether you're right or left-handed. So Jocko, of course, that was quite a hurdle for him. He had to think about that for a while. Billy Herman has 1 for 2. Right-hand batter. Swings on the first pitch. There's a bounding ball going down to short. Stevens up. The throw to first in plenty of time. York roving it in with 1 hand, and there's nothing across for the National League in the top of the 5th inning. So the totals remain as they were at the end of the 4th. For the American League, 4 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. For the National League, 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors.